All right. Step one of the return. I know we are massively behind. We have barely moved on the timeline. So, unfortunately for all of us, me, you, everybody in between, we are going to have to play catch up over the next 2 days. We are going to do double lectures. I'm going to do at least today, being Tuesday, through this. You may be looking at me at my desk right now. I may be at home. I still haven't decided whether I am going to be at school Tuesday, full day, half day, no day, what. But we have to move forward. I'm not dumb. I know a lot of you have taken a 2-week vacation. That's over. Okay. We've got to get back on it. We've got to play catch up. Luckily, I know how to do it. We've got notes. You have notes, guided notes. I am going to walk you through them. The only difference, instead of me being up front, is you're going to be looking at them right here if they want to load. So, yesterday, I posted the notes. I didn't put a lecture line like this. I still wasn't feeling up to it. I'm sorry. About Washington's presidency. The biggest thing I need you to know about Washington before we go forward on this is he was the precedent president. What that means, those are two different words, precedent and then president. Precedent means I did this, so we're all going to do this. He had 3 big precedents. We have since, in one form or another, broken every single one of them, but he tried to set 3 precedents. 1, don't form political parties. He was not a Republican. He was not a Democrat. We don't have those yet in American history. They're still not here. The groundworks for those basic thoughts are there, but we're not there yet. He said, look, political parties are going to ruin everything. We're going to wind up hating each other. Fast forward to today, dude was pretty smart. Dude knew what was coming. That one didn't last at all. He tried to set that precedent. It did not happen at all. Literally, John Adams, his vice president, the next president, was in a political party. Second precedent he tried to establish was stay out of European affairs. Let Europe have its own problems. Let them do whatever. Yeah, France helped us. Yeah, Britain was our mama. But you know what? They're their own problems. We hang on for a long time, letting them do their own thing. They come over here. We deal with them, but that's it. It's really not until World War I that we get involved in Europe. Third president, 2-term presidency. He could have been president till he died. He could have run for re-election and continued to get reelected. There were even people that wanted to make him king. As insane as that sounds, we just fought to get rid of a king, and people were like, oh, let's name him a king, because people are stupid. But he said, you know what? No, two terms. Now, that is now law. You cannot be president more than 2 terms. Trump can run one more time, get reelected. That's it. That was not always law, though. That was a precedent established by Washington that we've had one president, FDR, during World War II. He actually won 4. He did not serve he actually died his last one. He had polio, but he could have theoretically been 16 years our president, and who knows, even longer, depending on how long the World War II especially, was going on. So that's Washington. Now we're saying the Federalists take control. That's what you're looking at. Remember, Federalists, we did our noun project thing. We had the flex and muscles because they want a strong national government. Election, it's John Adams versus Thomas Jefferson. Federalist, Democratic, Republican, those are the 2 political parties at the time. Adams narrowly wins. Remember, we talked about this. Back then, the second place got to be vice president. Just take a minute to imagine how dandy things would be if Hillary Clinton were our vice and Trump were our president. Nothing would get accomplished. And even if it was the other way, if Hillary had won and Trump was vice, that would be a nightmare. The 12th Amendment, you see there, will later go, you know what? Terrible idea. Let's do this differently. But John Adams is our second president. You can kind of see, oh, hey, look, new states, Kentucky, Tennessee, Vermont are all on the board. John Adams gets 71 electoral college votes as opposed to Jefferson, who got 68. You even got Thomas Pinckney getting some and some other people, and American Burr right out. Again, like you look at the map, it's more blue, But remember, you get electoral college votes based on your population, not your physical size. XYZ affair. Us and France aren't getting along. France is like, hey, remember, we helped you win, give us our money. And we're like, yeah, but we kind of broke. We're trying to stay neutral. Like we said, Washington, stay out of their affairs. Adams tries to send somebody to patch things over. He sends 3 representatives. Their names are X, Y, and Z in the official letters. And they demand payment. These are French guys. The U.S. is like, no. They want $12 million, 2-year undeclared naval war. So we're not officially at war with France, but anytime we bump into each other in the water, especially in the Caribbean, France is basically launching war. We're trying to avoid war and do this peacefully. Don't worry about that. Alien Sedition Act. Oh boy. So First Amendment, right? Freedom of speech. You can say whatever you want. Remember we talked about the checks and balances. My gosh, we spent forever on separation of power. Here's where we put that to the test. Federalist and Democratic Republicans are not getting along. Already, we got 2 political parties that hate each other. And a lot of it has to do with this France stuff. Federalists want to curb the opposition, and they go too far. In other words, they're trying to say, look, shut up. And they go too far in trying to do it. The Alien Act is designed to eliminate the arrival and staying ability of immigrants critical of Adams. So if you're an immigrant, if you come into this country, you're not allowed to be critical. You are not allowed to say you don't like the president. First Amendment? Yeah, they're going against that. Sedition Act. This goes even further. It made it illegal to criticize the president and his political party with false, scandalous, or malicious statements. Now, you can say, well, yeah, that makes sense. Like, they shouldn't lie or anything. Well, who's deciding what's a lie and what's not? That's the problem. What you're having here is the president trying to control what the press can and cannot say. And he's acting like judge, jury, and executioner. He's not allowed to do that. Remember, who should have stepped in? The Supreme Court and said, dude, you can't do that, clown. That's against the First Amendment. But this is all brand new. This whole trial and tribulations is all new on how this is working. So he's able to get away with stuff, even though people are saying they're unconstitutional. In response, they're the Kentucky and Virginia revolutions, and they say, look, these are unconstitutional. These go against the First Amendment. And it says basically the states have the right to nullify this and call it unconstitutional. And they do. So these don't ultimately get passed and really cost Adams his presidency. If the law is again, and that's Jefferson, again, he's an anti-federalist and basically says, look, if there's a law written and we don't like it, we don't have to listen to it. First instance of nullification is the first time it's ever happened that a law got passed and they were like, no, not going to do it. Set the precedent for future attempts, supports the idea that the states could challenge the federal government. Yes, we've made a stronger federal government, but they aren't all powerful. All right. So that is the Adams presidency. These things are massive, and if I tried to make them even longer, they usually go. So make sure you copied all your notes. I'm going to stop this right here, and I'm going to do a second recording on your second set of notes on Jefferson's presidency.